Am I going to remain a sheep and be led by fear? Or am I going to be a sovereign mare and a winged mare and be led by love? This is the real question, and this is the real choice that we are facing with vaccination. What is going on right now? What we see plenty of crisis nowadays. What we think, or we call, a financial crisis, or a political crisis, or a religious crisis, or a social crisis, whatever the crisis we're going through, there's only one crisis that's going on now. It is an evolutionary crisis. What does that mean? That means that we are going from one species to another. The human being, as a sheep, is dying. The human being, unaware of its real identity, is in the process of dying. And from this death will emerge the real being. This is a false being, a false identity, false power, false government. It's all false. This is a world of lie, illusion and lie in which we live now. And we see ourselves as sheep instead of winged mare that we are. So this world of illusion is coming to an end. If we remain in it, we will die with it. That's no problem. That is not a problem. But it is in the process of dying. And allow reality to emerge from it. And reality of our real being. Knowing who we are, which is the supreme being. It is not outside, it is inside. And realizing our self-authority, which is inside, and obeying this self-authority. This is what's going on. And this process, this crisis, evolutionary crisis, is exactly the same one as when the caterpillar goes from the caterpillar and then it dies and becomes a butterfly. This is the process we're going through now. So, well, let's rejoice and let's see all those horrible vaccines and wars and poverty and violence. This is manifestation of the end of this species. It's the end. And then see it as a blessing that brings about the beginning of the new species that we are about to know. Is it going to happen and all I have to do is to wait for this new species to come? No. If I wait and do nothing and I remain in the inaction or reaction mode, and again, I want to stress, it is not time to riot. Don't riot. It doesn't work. You will be sent to the concentration camps if you riot, if you protest. And lots of people right now are proposing to sign petitions and give your name to protest. No, it doesn't work. We have to let go of this old way of doing things, either obeying or disobeying. No. But saying no to vaccination does not mean that I rebel. It means that I say yes to who I really am. I say yes, it's not a no to the vaccination. In reality, it is a yes to my real nature of a perfectly healthy, immortal creature and creator that I am. So I invite you to stop trying to understand the scientific arguments and language used by doctors, politicians. And remember, if you don't trust politicians, and a survey went on several months ago here in Quebec, where 6%, only 6% of people trust politicians. Well, if you don't trust politicians, remember that your doctor is obeying politicians. But we're not aware. So they trust. 85% of people said, we trust our doctors, but we don't trust politicians. Well, if you don't trust politicians, you cannot trust your doctor because he obeys the orders of politicians. This is the awakening we have to come to and realize where the real power is. And right now, we are in this transformation of going from an external power. It's a transfer of power we're going through now. We're going from the external false power of the external authorities to the inner power of the individual. And this is where the real power sits. So it's a transfer of power that's going on in the world at this present time. I invite you to see it with this perspective, because this is reality. Thank you for listening to me.